Yet another item not given to me by DeWalt. Bring me laughter all the way. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness. So much joy we can. Alright, let's get that coffee. Here we go. Right. 2 will do for the moment. Between the joists, remove it, shake it, start from the eaves, work towards the centre, ensuring the side of the is covered, plastic between the joists, on top of existing, insulation really torn. Oh, alright. Okay, let's see how this might work. Hello everyone. Well, I was just wondering whether I could put the insulation, kind of hold it up above the joist, but the spaces are a bit tight, especially on the joist that's, you know, the deeper depth one. So I'm going to run it in line with it. So I'm going to put a board up and then kind of try and shove the insulation in. Is that going to work? How the hell is that going to work? Yeah, probably going to put a couple of boards up and then poke it down and bunch it up, ready to pull it across the rest of them, sort of thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens, eh? I've got a coffee, so everything's all right for the moment. Yeah, let's stick a board up and I'll show you my new toy and then we'll shove some insulation in. Right, where's my new toy? Here we go. Yet another item not given to me by DeWalt. What are those guys playing at? Hey? What I've gone for is one of these screwdriver things. So you can just walk along going zzz, zzz, zzz. Hopefully it'll make life easier. It's quite an investment. So what have we got? We've got a DeWalt DCF6202. And this thing has this, it's kind of a strange thing because you have like a power driver, but then you have this extension, and this extension allows you to put in the belt fed screws, which I will show you. So you just simply connect that on the front, and then hopefully these things are the right things. They should be. So what you have is you have a strip, a bit like machine gun ammunition sort of thing. And these things fit into the holder, and as you go along you screw it, this kind of climbs up, you screw the next one, it climbs up, screw the next one. And the idea is you can do it requiring far fewer hands for the job. We're going to put that one to the test. The idea being that you take the screws here, you feed them in like so, kind of got a belt drive on here, so we have it lined up, it gets itself lined up, and then you should be able to then just screw the board to the ceiling without having to fish for another screw in your pocket and all the rest of it. That's the theory. We're going to give it a go. As soon as I've got that board up and cut, and I haven't done that yet. So you're gonna have to wait a minute. We're all gonna have to wait a minute. And this thing's unrolling itself and expanding. Idiot. It's all happening today. Move that over there. My hat. Couldn't find my hat this morning. It was keeping this bit of plasterboard warm. Might just put that on. I need to measure. Come on. Sort yourself out, bestie. So board to there and onto here. 166. A couple of things that you need to know about this is obviously the length of the screw. It needs to just be hidden by this, because as you press that in to reveal the screw and the actual screwdriver goes through, this has to be at the right length. There's a little gauge down the side here that tells you what size of screw that is appropriate, which is a bit easier to do with a screwdriver, a power driver, than it is with a nail gun. Because when you have a nail gun and you start thinking, have I got what? Oh, is that a blockage? I think there's one in there. Cocoon. Good night, dream house. I'm kind of just having a look at this, and what you can do here is, I've noticed there's a little bit of a feed here through the grip, which helps just offer up the one that you want, so they're not all bunched up. So there's a little groove there, you slide it in and you have your gun ready to go. There you go. I need a coffee. This is going to take me bloody weeks. I'd have done this by hand, but once I understand and I know what I'm doing, this will fly up. But until that point, just thinking, should I be sat under that first piece that isn't quite screwed on? I hope this thing holds it up. And given that I know the person that built it, I think we just go this way, very quietly. Just take that off. Well, it stayed up. Boom! Right, ready for the next. So I need to measure there to there and get that done. Now, kind of got stuff all over. This is one of the things that, you know, if you've got stuff everywhere, is you find you're forever moving stuff, which is a bit of a pain. The next one needs to be there, so I need to get in here. So that is not working at the moment, is it? So, bit of rubbish. And let's measure that. So I need my thing. Let's see if we can get better. What's that to there? One, so midpoint, 160. 160, and then a half board, use the 2/3 to come back. We'll do that, so 160. So, you know, that is why I don't do overboarding of ceilings and all the rest of it, because it's hard work. And I'm not in this game for hard work. That's ridiculous. Oh, The hardest thing is I've probably got, the screws I've got are probably too long. I don't think I need them that big. Anyway, it's a bit fiddly getting used to the power screw automatic belt feed gun thing. Getting used to it is, yeah, I'm getting used to it. And the weird thing is, because it's above your head and it's awkward sometimes and you, all the rest, hey, are you ticking these excuses off? You should be. I've got a lot more. But putting it up there, it's not easy, and trying to work out how to do it. What I'm finding is as you offer up the screw and you squeeze it in, it's sometimes setting off at an angle, and then the screw bit isn't holding, and it's kind of there. But you've got to put quite a bit of pressure on there to drive it home, and it's not as easy as I thought it would be. I'm sure there are people out there who can make this, you know, just do it in seconds. And all I'd say is to you, you know, nobody likes a smart ass, do they? But well done if you have. Hopefully, I'll come and join you soon as I get, you know, used to doing this and getting it up. But it's quite tricky, it's quite awkward. And anything that's constantly above your head up here, it gets a bit achy. I don't know if you've found that when you're doing anything like this. If you haven't done anything like this, give it a go. I tell you what, that board lifter here, this thing, that's really quite cool. I'm really impressed with that. I probably haven't built it correctly. There's probably bits that are going to go wrong, and something's going to fall on my head. But you know, when you're dropped on your head as a baby, everything else is just, you know, happy days, isn't it? I don't think I was. At least my mum doesn't tell me I was, but at times I think I must have been, because some of the things I think are quite easy, straightforward, 2-minute jobs, and all the rest of it. I must have banged that bit in my head that gave me reality. Because I'm in dreamland. I'm in the dream house, obviously, so I'm entitled to dream. But what have we got left on here on this first row? So I've got to cut now a board into this corner up here. So small bit, and then the bit that I've got left over, we'll start the one back. So you've got that stagger before, you know, you tape it and you skim it and all the rest of it. But when I've done this first row, I'm going to have a look at what I think for putting it in, because just looking at it, for the insulation is what I mean. So I've got noggins here. If I put a second board up here, I have a feeling I might not have much space to be able to put my arm in and slide in the insulation. So when I've got one up, I'm going to slide some in and see what happens. 2 boards up, and it's only taken me about 6 hours. I'm getting better. I think I'm going to get another coffee before I tackle that end bit. You can't blame me, really, can you? Not really. Where's my mug? Meet you back here in a couple of minutes, all right? And we'll stick that end bit up. I'm back. For those of you that were convinced I'd do a runner, yeah, you better watch closely, because I think I might see. All right, let's get the stuff out of the way so I can get into the corner. And as I say, this is where you're always shuffling stuff. Ooh, I don't like it. Right, actually, am I going to be... I don't think I'm cutting anything now, am I, for a bit? So, I could collapse this. Yeah, brilliant. You collapsed it. Now where do you put it? Very good question. How about chuffing? Nora, that's heavy. Oh, right on the bloody ankle bone. Oh, you tart. Oh. did I do this? Well, that's enough of me doing this. Hey, you get the idea, don't you? So you'll see me again in about 4 years when this is finally done. Or you can tune in next time as we continue the escape to the dream house. And it could well be 4 years before I've done this. However, just before I go, I just had a phone call from Matthew who said he wanted to do the boarding out of the ceiling. So I said, well, there's no rush. Literally, there's no rush because it ain't getting done anytime soon. Fill your boots, have fun, away you go. So he's coming down in a bit and hopefully he'll do some of this nonsense.